Hey guys, today I want to show you the new rotation for 5.0 Warrior. The changes that was made to Warrior was that your inferior was changed into a charge system, so you have two of them now. The crit percentage was removed from your gauge, so there's no need to keep that high anymore. And we unlocked Inner Chaos after using Infuriate. Very simple changes, nothing really changed honestly. So what you want to do is you want to get one Inner Chaos before your Inner Release. You can put two there depending on rate buffs, but I'm going to do one to show off the proper upheaval placement. It's just easier for demonstration, honestly. Now one thing that's important is that of course you want to get your second Inner Chaos, but also you want to use your Onslaught to offset the 20 gauge you generated from your eye before first Inner Release. Now all 5.0 Warrior cares about is optimizing around rate buffs, in this case Trigger Tag. After the first Inner Release you want to do 3 paths. So here we have our first path. Every time you don't care about Trigger Tag you want to do 3 paths. So here we have our second path. And here we have our third path. Now you see people coming off cooldown. It is going to be when Trigger Tag is up right after this main. So after this main, we get Upheaval, Fell Cleave, and double Inner Chaos all inside of Trick. And that's going to be your Trigger Tag. We want to do a path and an eye, and directly into Inner Release again. Another cool tech that they introduced here in 5.0 is this eye buffer. You can use Fell Cleave before eye drops off and get a little extra time on it. The reason you couldn't do this in 4.0 or 4.2 was because you wanted to keep your gauge high and it wasn't worth it. But here you can freely use your gauge, so you're free to do that whenever you want. After every Inner Release we want to do a path and an eye. Already now we want to look out for when our next Trigger Tag is. We can see on the upheaval here, it's going to be in 7 seconds. Ish. It's a rough indicator. We want to fit an upheaval, a Fell Cleave, and 2 Inner Chaos inside of every Trigger Tag. Again, you see this eye buffer here. This eye buffer only does something every now and then, but it gives you a lot more leeway for it to play with your eye, especially if you have downtime in a fight. Now the next Trigger Tag is going to be during Inner Release. This is going to be the only time that we use Inner Chaos after an Inner Release. Every 3 minutes, that is. Our goal with Inner Chaos is to fit as many of them inside Trigger Tags as we possibly can. Again, you're going to see me buffer eye here. And go directly into Inner Release. Now, the important thing to notice here is at the end of this Inner Release, you want to use an Inner Chaos. This Inner Chaos is not going to be put in the next Trigger Tag if you don't use it here. Even if Trigger Tag is not still up there, you need to use that Inner Chaos there. Your Infuriate is going to be overcharged by the time that the next trick is up. There's 30 more seconds for the next Trigger Tag. Just keep in mind, after trick you want to do, or during the trick period you want to do 2 paths, when there's no trick you want to do 3 paths. So here we're coming up on trick. Now people have slided a little bit so it looks not as clean as it should. But here's how the trick is going to play out still. 1 Fell Cleave, an Upheaval, and 2 Inner Chaos. All the time. And during this period, 2 paths. Again, next trick is coming up here in 25 seconds. So after inner release, you want to do path 9. And after that, we're doing 2 paths. With trick coming up, that means 2 paths all the time. When trick is not coming up, it's 3 paths. Of course, downtime in an actual fight is going to prevent you from always doing that. But in a 100 uptime scenario, that's going to be your goal. So here we have trick, upheaval, fell cleave, and 2 inner chaos. And now after this eye, we want to do 3 paths. So here you see we started low on gauge, 10 gauge after finishing that eye. So we want to do 3 paths here. It's going to build us up 90 gauge. And plus upheaval removes 20 gauge, allows us to use eye without having to fell cleave. Now this next inner release is going to be my last one. This one is during a potion window, it's during a trick window. So again, with every 3-minute inner release, afterwards you want to do an inner chaos to fit that inside of rate buffs as well. That's 5.0 Warrior. Now I'm going to put a link in the description to how this GCD mapping works out if you're interested. Keep in mind that this only works in a 100% uptime scenario, and this rotation is not going to be anywhere near as clean if you have any kind of downtime, especially not if you draw by.